Welcome to Brazilian Booty Lift's second podcast, the famous Brooke Vincent.
Oh, God.
How are you, Brooke? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks, mate. Been really so excited about doing this podcast with you. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You've been to our academy a few times. You've experienced some of our amazing treatments, and you've even hosted our awards night. How has the whole journey been for you so far with us?
Do you know what? I think it's actually happened really organically. I feel like I've come into a world that I actually didn't know about, and also was really scared to explore. And I feel like when I came to the awards night, I was like looking at these women that was winning awards for like things that they'd done, and thinking, I could do with a bit of that. And how do you get that? And the women, I just also want to say, like, and this is obviously a credit to the brand, all of them women was all going up for like the same kind of awards, and there was not one bit of like jealousy. There was so much love and like support in the room.
Yeah.
And I feel like with women now that are all in the same industry, it's quite hard to get that.
Can get quite bitchy.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
But it was really good, and everyone just was on like top form and was just really excited to celebrate.
And you did so well. I know you were really nervous.
Oh, God. I tell you what, I keep thinking back to how the fact, obviously this whole thing is non-surgical, and I flew in, second line in with, and welcome to the surgical. I was like, no. And I panicked. I was like, couldn't go any worse. Literally couldn't go any worse. I kept saying to Chantel, you have to have me back next time. It's fine. Don't mind.
We loved it. Absolutely loved it. So you're a mum of two boys, gorgeous boys. I love watching them on Instagram and how they get covered in mud. How has your perspective of your body confidence, and how has that changed since having children?
Oh, God. I mean, especially being pregnant, probably some might say I was naive to it, but I didn't think my whole body would change. I thought my stomach would change, and that's about it. I didn't really anticipate stretch marks. I didn't anticipate that my skin might not be as tight as everywhere else. Obviously, I've had 2 pregnancies as well, and they was completely different. I put on weight in different areas, and I was just a bit like, And it's kind of like, you've got your children, you've got my gorgeous boys, and then I'm kind of like left with this. And some days when they've really, really winded me up, I think, do you know, you've really ruined my stomach and my day today. And I just think like, But I think, you know, I will bang on about this. Social media is a huge, huge tool, but there is some really, really dark spaces on it where,
yeah, I agree.
You know, we can have people on there that do promote body confidence and do show, you know, skin that isn't as tight or stretch marks or whatever it might be. And there's also people though that don't and that hide that. And I think, well, they've got 3 kids, and why is their boob still standing up? You know, like, I don't really understand. Sometimes as women, we put out things that obviously make us feel comfortable and make us feel confident, but probably unbeknown to us as well, it's making somebody else somewhere else feel a certain way. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard. And I think as well, like, just being a mum in general is hard,
100%.
Especially if on your own, but being a mum in general is hard. And then to have the body confidence on top of that as well, and feeling
a massive part, I think there's a massive difference from having treatments, whether it be something as simple as having your eyebrows done or your eyelashes done or whatever, or going, you know, even way down the surgical route. There's a massive difference of having that for your own confidence. Yeah. But are people doing that, or are people just trying to fit in to try and be what social media now says you've got to be? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a really fine line, I think.
Is. And I think mental health talks about quite a lot, isn't it, in and around that as well. So many women, we've touched upon this now actually, so many women feel pressured to bounce back after pregnancy. Did you feel that, and how did you handle that? Especially being somebody like yourself as well.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I was huge with both the boys, and to the point where everyone else... No, this is what I mean. People do this and then they feel embarrassed when they actually see pictures of me and see that I'm massive, and then I have to apologise. But there's people that like make a joke about how big I was, because I was massive. I was pregnant, I was hungry, I like chippy, like I will go and I'll eat. whatever I was eating, yeah. And I put on obviously a lot of weight, but there was a huge thing that there was that saying that bounce back. And for me, when you have a baby, you are so vulnerable to all of a sudden having somebody else to look after, yourself to look after, the house to look after. You're staying now, we're all now a family, no one's going anywhere, and this is now normal life. And I think a lot of people rush back to the gym to be like, I'm getting myself back.
Yeah.
If it's giving you good endorphins and it's making you feel better, 100%, go for it. Do whatever it is, whether that's walking, swimming, whatever it is, like go and do that. But I just think once you have a baby, bouncing back should be like the last thing
on your list, yeah,
you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's really hard because when you have a baby, people are like, oh, they naturally say it, but like, oh, you look well.
Yeah.
And you think, well, I've just got a bit slimmer. Like, that's all.
To what I was.
Yeah, to what I was. But, you know, it's a really hard one because some women do just get back in the jeans, whereas I didn't.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's bizarre.
It's social media again, though.
Social media.
When you see somebody like literally just giving birth and the stomach's gone.
Yeah, we literally, I was in the public eye, obviously, when I was pregnant, and there was another lady also in the public eye. And we was due probably about a week apart. And I think I remember her putting a picture up, say like week 5, and she had a crop top on. She had skinny jeans on. And I remember being sat there in my drivers thinking, right now I feel really shit.
Yeah.
Now I just feel shit because I can't even fit in my floaty dresses because my arms expanded that much that they don't fit in the sleeves. And I'm like, oh. So it's just really hard. But I think most important is sometimes, and I have to remind myself of it, is to just grab it and bring it back and just say, do you know what? It will come when it comes, and you'll fit back in your jeans when you do. And if you don't, so what?
Yeah, so what? Don't matter. You've got your 2 children.
No, I've got the kids. And yeah, it's who wears jeans anyway nowadays?
I mean, says us with both jeans on.
I feel like I get dressed up.
I'm sure these maternity.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if my bloody was. But again, things fit differently as well.
Oh, mate.
Do you know? So
100%.
You feel like you're going to have the same style, and you just don't.
No.
But yeah, when you have your kids, I think people expect everything to go back to how it was before the kids, and it doesn't. So that I've just been on holiday with my family, and I'm like, well, I can't wear that bikini. I can't wear that bikini. And I can, but I just won't feel my most comfortable. Because my kids as well, they've got me walking around the pool, walking to the football bit, and I think we're not sat down nice and neat, quiet, like incognito. Like we're fully in the mix. So I'm thinking, I'm not having people thinking, bloody hell, look at her, they're falling out of everything. But yeah.
It is mad though, like, I feel like mum dresses the cool dress now though. Come on.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got to say this.
No, yeah.
I feel like just when you used to go around in skimpy outfits and stuff like that when you were younger.
I honestly think that like COVID changed my fashion 100%. And I always wore like oversized stuff. So like when I go to like parties now and I see these girls in these skimpy dresses, my first thought always is, aren't you cold?
Yeah.
I hate being cold. I hate being cold. And I think, and like we'll put in our group chat now if we're going anywhere, is anyone taking a coat? I'm like, I love taking a coat. I have to take a coat. But yeah, I think obviously fashion just changes and your priorities change.
Yeah, definitely.
And my priority is to stay warm.
Love that for you.
Literally.
So what advice would you give to other mums who might be struggling with body confidence?
Oh, I think it's a really, really hard one because I feel like every person is unique and their own journey is unique, and things like somebody might be worrying about one thing and somebody might be worrying about something else. For me, I just think the most important thing, especially in today's day and age, is that you're both healthy, you're both there. And, you know, weight, if we're talking weight, which essentially normally it is, weight comes and goes, and it you know, it does. I fluctuate, a lot of people do, and you can't base yourself off what you're seeing on social media.
I totally agree. I can eat McDonald's, mate, and I can see it on me instantly.
Yeah, I could breathe it in and see it on me.
Instantly.
Literally. Yeah, but some people, like I remember being pregnant and looking at a girl on Instagram, I was like, I want them legs. And I was like, I didn't even have them legs before I was pregnant, but I'm going to have them now I am pregnant. It's just we're always comparing, we're always, you know, like say, massive tool being social media, we can look for inspiration in clothing or in I don't know, meals or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
There's such a wide world out there about it. But I just think it's so hard to bring it back and not compare yourself, because you'll just go down a rabbit hole.
100%. And I totally agree.
And you're never happy.
No, never.
Never happy.
Never.
I wish I was how I was when I thought I wasn't happy.
I know.
Do you know when you thought you was like chubby in school?
Yeah.
And I look back and I was like, I was a pin. I was a pin.
I know. It's mad, isn't it? Especially when you go back through old photos and you look at yourself and like, I want to be like that again. And you're like, but you always so hated yourself then.
I know. My friend literally said to me, you're never going to be as young as you are today. And you're going to look back in a year's time and think, oh, I wish I looked like that.
I know. It's got to be us.
Just got to be.
Got to be you. So before hosting our awards night, you'd never heard of Brazilian booty lift, had you, before?
No.
So stomach contouring or a Mediscope device in general. What were your first thoughts when you walked into the academy and met me and Chantel?
Do you know what? I think there's such a stigma around BBL because there's a whole world that's surgical that people have a lot of negativity towards.
Yeah.
So when I got asked to do the awards, I was really, really in depth looking at what you guys actually do. And when I found out it was non-surgical, and when I found out all of the background and the procedures, is some people, you know, some people do have it for cosmetic reasons. Other people have it done because, you know, medical reason or whatever it might be. Yeah. It's all to boost confidence.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I like to be a part of that. And I think, you know, whatever it is, whatever choice you want to make towards your body, that's on you, and whatever's going to make you feel confident. But I loved the academy. I feel like I came in and there's just like a warmth about it. And the same with like the awards night. There's a lot of girls just buzzing about that are all very happy and smiley. And I've just really had a nice time every time I've been here. It's been a really nice experience.
And also I think as well, it's going back to having something that's non-invasive, non-surgical. Mm-hmm. So many people like yourself, Brooke, that don't necessarily know anything about these treatments, but especially when you played a part in Corrie, I'm assuming that you wouldn't be able to have injectables done. You couldn't change the way you looked.
See, this is the strange thing, is like, I don't think way back then it was as common or it was spoken about as much as it is now. Nowadays, people are very transparent with it. Some people are, some people aren't. But there are some people that are very transparent with it, and they're like, this is my doctor, this is what I have done, and I've been here and I've done this and I've had this treatment. And I think if I was to, for instance, have my stomach out and I'd had a treatment, I feel like it would be really important for me to say, just had this contour treatment, check it out. Because as again I say, you sat there on social media, you're looking through and you're like, but she's had 2 kids as well, why is her stomach contour?
Yeah.
It's as much as people want you to believe that like you've done it yourself, sometimes you can't get them results by just going on a diet or just going to the gym, or it's not. And you know, sometimes like say like Amanda talks me through everything every time I come, but things like, you know, reducing your bloatedness, like you can't necessarily do that yourself at home. You've got different tools, different machines and things like that. So I just think it's one of them things that you really have to explore for yourself to figure out for yourself whether it's what you want. And I've just loved it.
Oh, we've loved having you here. And I think from your first treatment as well, I'm touching on treatments here, just how you felt, were you nervous? But from your first treatment, you got a result, didn't you?
Yeah, so my whole thing, which is so bizarre, but when I was like 16, I remember this lad calling me Thunder Thighs, and that's it, stuck in my head now.
Oh, I can imagine.
I'm like 16 years, well, don't tell anyone I'm 16 years old, but my point being is that stuck with me all these years. So it's always been something for me, is like my legs. So if there's any kind of treatment that goes in my legs to debloat them or to decellulate them or whatever, I'm an absolute marketer's dream. I'm like, yeah, talk to me. Who I like when I'm finished? I want to walk out and no one recognises me. But there's like things, like I say, for me, a massive thing was my stomach area where I've had the boys and my skin hasn't tightened. And when I found out there was a treatment for that, I just thought, do you know what? I always put myself on the back burner. Everything's for the kids. Everything, all my money goes on the kids, and it's just that. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to have something for me now. I'm going to spend today for 2 hours. I'm going to spend that on me. Yeah, and do that for me. And it does make you feel confident. You know, obviously the results, you get different results with different procedures, but I think for me, if I was going to an event or I was going to, you know, I was getting married or having a party, these treatments can just all come together and just make you feel confident.
I know. And that's why it's so important as well. And I think having a non-invasive, non-surgical treatment, you're not going to get the result from a surgical treatment. You're not, people's expectations can be really big. But like you touched upon, then having that confidence.
Then you also don't have the risk.
No.
That's the big thing. That's the big, most important thing, is that you're not having the risk. And I think I'm not here to say to people, you know, go and get this treatment. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you want this treatment, there is a non-surgical version, there's a non-invasive version that you can have done and still feel as confident, still see a result without the huge, you know, worry that is obviously within the media and the stigma of a lot of treatments when you fly somewhere and have them done.
I know, definitely. So with your first treatment, you felt that you had immediate changes straight away or not?
Yeah, so I'm probably not the best model because I find...
the way you look at yourself as well sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I find, obviously, I think I had four sessions. So obviously within that, I've had a period, I've gone bloated, I've debloated, I've ate before I've come, I've not ate before. So there's different results on different days. But every day that I've been here, there's been results. There's been, you know, something that I can visually see.
Yeah.
And I think if I'd have stuck to my diet, sorry, Amanda, I think if I'd have stuck to my diet and worked towards it and with it, because on a couple of weeks I did, and I thought, you feel amazing.
Yeah, I remember your voice note, and I was like, mate, what's this?
No, I do, and I did. I felt amazing. And then, as always, I'll find, you know, a Chippy's open, and I'll be like,
what is it that you got? Where did you go when I seen you?
I went somewhere. IKEA.
Right.
I just... have you ever had them cookies?
I know, you said that, but you'd come into the academy for a treatment and I was looking at you, Brooke, aftercare.
I know, I think that's what I'm saying is I think you get the maximum results when you work with the treatment.
Yes.
And there's a massive, you know, that's like anything though. If you're going to work with your personal trainer, you're going to get better results.
Yeah, of course you are.
But even like I say, on the days where I say I was feeling really, really bloated, there was still a visual change.
Definitely. And I know obviously you'd messaged me and then you were talking to your friends about it. It was like, let's get my friends on this.
I just think it's like a whole world, like I say, that I never really knew about. And it's, again, not to say that I'm going to be like, so can I do this? Can I change that? Can I do this? But it's more just to know that is there. Yeah. And people don't know that. Unless you're kind of in the industry, people don't know that.
No, they don't. So the Meniscope combines with LED light therapy, ultrasonic cavitation, radio frequency, lymphatic drainage. Which of these technologies stood out the most for you?
Lymphatic drainage.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that because I know when we talk about your tummy, especially and you feel a bit bloated, even though you never look bloated. But again, that's how you feel. I think lymphatic drainage and the knowledge around lymphatic drainage is massive now.
A lot of people, you know, are choosing the massages now over, you know, comfort massages.
Yeah.
They want them. Yeah, they are. It's like, you want to lie there for an hour.
Get rid of my water.
Yeah. And but it's all, you know, goes hand in hand with things that you can't necessarily do. So if you've been on holiday and you like my friend, we used to laugh, she gets really swelled ankles on the plane.
Really?
Really bad. And we went to Vegas. We was only like 23 and she's like, my ankle. But like things, but it does, you swell and you get more water. And I think it is really, really nice to know that there's a procedure that you can do to actually help with that.
100%. As far as we weren't Googling it in Vegas, probably didn't know about it then.
Didn't know about it then.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, it's been a long time since I went to Vegas.
So how did your skin feel after the treatments? Did you notice any improvements in the skin tightening and the texture of your skin?
Yes, I did. I felt like I always looked the day after because I felt like on the day I'm very much like, again, Mark says, oh, I look fabulous and it's changed everything. But I think when you wake up the next day and it's settled a little bit and you can have a proper good look, you know, and you feel it as well. And but again, everything works hand in hand. So I have like creams, and I felt like when I moisturised, it was better. And
texture, skin
texture,
stuff.
yeah,
yeah,
100%. But I just feel like I feel more appreciative of the fact that, like I say to you, that I've been here, and Amanda has talked me through everything, and you know, she'll say to me, if this result happens like this, then don't worry, because this will happen. And she gave me all the information. Yes, she is. She's so knowledgeable about skin, and like you've just said, you touched on loads of different things of LED lighting and whatever else, and radio frequency.
Yeah, that's right. Ultrasonic computation.
Yeah. But she speaks about them, and she takes the scary words away so that you know what's going on. And I think that's a big thing.
I think educating the end audience, so for example, like with Amanda, with you, and with our stockists and their customers, being able to educate the customer on what's going through and the steps of the treatment is so key for people to then understand the aftercare. Definitely to get the best results. So we talked about lymphatic drainage a minute ago. So it is really good for reducing bloating, improving circulation. You definitely felt those, didn't you? The benefits of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those treatments, like I said, that just people just really enjoy when they've come out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I feel like I've got a flat stomach again.
Yeah. No, it is, and it just shifts. It gives, you know, it can sometimes, like I said to Amanda one day, I was like, I feel really bloated, I feel really heavy, and it's like just even a bit of movement on your stomach with a tool or with a hand or whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, do you know when, this is such a bad interpretation of it, but do you know when, say for instance, when the sink's blocked and you can't get, and the water's like going a certain way, but if you swish it the other way and give it a change of direction, it starts like filtering. That's what it was like.
A sink. My stomach was like a sink.
No, I feel like say, with Amanda's knowledge, and I'd kind of like raise my concerns, she'd be like, right, okay, 1 minute, and she would know, which I think is really important.
Really important, yeah. So ultrasound cavitation, ultrasonic, oh my God, ultrasound, am I all right? Ultrasonic cavitation helps break down fat cells. How did you notice a difference in that?
So it was more on my legs.
Okay, because you did your tummy and your legs, didn't you? That's what you had done, tummy and legs, guys.
Sorry, yeah. It was more on my legs, because I feel like over years, like I say, girls, I've seen the teeny tiniest of girls with cellulite, and I've seen, you know, people who are
larger girls that don't have it.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and it is just all your skin. It is, and I think that when I could see a little bit of like say the inflammation had come down, and like visibly, it wasn't as lumpy. The texture was better. It's lumpy.
Can we say that?
I know, it's hard. This is what
can't describe cellulite.
And I do, and I feel like it's one of them topics that is just so key to you and what you think.
I think,
and how you feel.
Cellulite is like the thing that women really struggle with the most.
There's such a stigma around it, and I think there was. Now, when I look back at like magazines from say like the 2000s or whatever. God, I sound so old. But like when I do look back at like magazines that used to be in like hairdressers or beauty shops, there's like columns for cellulite Sallys, and like tagging all these different celebrities that may have had like an off picture, and I think cellulite for most women is one of the main things that they think about when they look at their body.
100%.
I think if you're looking for a downfall, they'll go, oh, I've got cellulite.
Yeah, my mate
it's the most common. I've got cellulite. But everybody seems to have it, so to speak. Like it's not uncommon. You know, it's quite a common thing. And like I say, at different sizes you have it. And people that like work out regularly also can get it.
Yeah. And I think as well, just understanding that these types of treatment, it's not going to get rid of the cellulite completely. No. It's going to help with it, though, break it down and just generally going back to body confidence again.
Yeah.
And even when you see a slight improvement in your cellulite, you just feel so much better.
Yeah. Again, I think everything's preference, everything's your own body and how you feel. And for me, I can bang on about body positivity all day long, But as soon as I get in a bikini or as soon as I get in an outfit and I think, I don't feel comfortable actually in wearing that because of this or because of that or because of the lighting on my skin or whatever.
Changing room lighting's are the worst, by the way. Ugh. Are you all right? Buying new clothes in the changing room lighting?
Honestly, yeah. I liked Hollister for that. It was always so dark. Couldn't really see.
Definitely. So now you completed your full course. Well, you had 4 treatments, didn't you? Because you had your holidays in between, so we tried to fit everything in for your holidays. So how do you feel about your body how do you feel your body now compared to what you did?
Like I say, my body, I feel like, is very flippant with where I'm at in my cycle and things like that, what I've eaten. And, you know, even things as little as toast can really change, pasta, all of the things that the carby things. And so I feel like now, if I not necessarily now, sorry, when I just had the treatments and I was in that course, I felt like I could visibly see these results and I could feel the results and I could look in the mirror and see what I wanted to see. Whereas at the time, like now, for instance, because I'm not actively pushing that, and I'm not going to lie and say,
we don't want you to.
It's carried on, and you know,
this is truth.
People are going to see it and think, well, you didn't stay. You know what I mean? But like, I just think it's important to know that these are there, and if you work with them, you're going to get longer lasting results.
100. And I think as well, like, people can have these on a seasonal basis. So people, like, they've got, like you mentioned it, for festivals, holidays. I think having like the new mummy packages are great to be able to, you know, have your tummy done, your arms done, your legs done. But actually having maintenance treatments is also really important to people, because you can have a course of treatment, feel great, but then go and binge for 5 weeks, and that's going to take you back to square one. So I think keeping the upkeep of these treatments are also really, really important to maintain that. 100%. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay. So were there unexpected benefits from the treatments physically or mentally?
I just think when you feel better, you mentally feel better.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think as well, it's mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about your mindset and how you feel on the day as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Would you recommend the combination of treatments to other mums, anyone looking for body confidence? So where you had your tummy and your legs, some people potentially might have tummy and back, or if they've got, I mean, I had got stretch marks on the inside of my legs when I had my boys, because my legs are quite skinny and then put that weight on. So would you recommend them to have a combination of treatment?
Like I say, like, I don't force anything down anyone's throat. I'm like, listen, if you that's what you want to do, I know a girl. Yeah, that's what I said. There's a woman that said to me the other day, she was like, you have a girl for everything. Like, I know. I have like a tech girl, I have this girl, I have that girl. But yeah, I think it's not something that I would say, new mums, get yourself back, come and have these treatments. No. I'm saying that if you're now at a stage where you want to feel a bit more confident, you want to change the appearance or the texture or whatever it might be of your stomach or of your skin, because that's, as much as people say, you know, some people really are like, my babies give me this body and I'm embracing it, and that's fine, like 100% that's fine. But I'm also not that confident sometimes, and I think, you know, if it's just a little bit of a boost to know that I'm on the right path, on the right direction of feeling more confident, then I'm going to do it. Yeah, 100%. And I think, again, it's going back to the knowledge of these treatments. But also, it's the fact for me, as I keep saying to people, I do sound like I'm really selling it when I see my mates, and it's like, it's non-surgical, you know? Because I think, I feel really, really stupid, but I don't think it's a known wide enough thing that it's non-surgical. I don't think people know that. It's non-invasive. It's in, you know, there's a lot of clinics that will be able to provide you with the service. I don't think people know enough about it unless you're in the industry.
And we struggle a little bit like that with our branding, because when we first set the brand up, I don't even think BBLs were actually a thing back then, like surgical BBLs. It's come over time. So when things have happened within the aesthetics industry, things have gone wrong, unfortunately people have lost their lives, it's really difficult for us as a brand, but also as stockists, to then be like, it's non-invasive. Like, they'll put a picture up, oh no, that's
just really important.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I think it's just really important, like you say, because there have been so many stories, so many horror stories, to highlight the fact that it is non-surgical.
I know.
And it's not the same. That's the thing is like, and I said this to you like from day dot. I think that as soon as you hear the words BBL, it's a bit like, and
no.
you think of all the horror stories you do. You don't see the other side of it.
Yeah, and I think that doesn't help with the BBL side of things. And I think it was recently, 6 months ago, when we did a story around it and just emphasising that we are a non-invasive, non-surgical brand.
Mm-hmm.
Can't change our branding, guys. Like, you know what I mean? We're here first.
Yeah.
But, you know, for us, it's just doing things like this with people and getting the name out there where it is non-surgical, non-invasive, and it's safe. I think that's the most important thing for everybody. So self-care and well-being, very close to my heart, this one. As a busy mum, how do you make time for you and self-care?
I mean, do I ever get it right? I feel like I'm at the age where I need somebody to come in and say, right, okay, the best version of yourself, the day goes like this, and you wake up at this time and you eat at this time and you do this and the kids and you take the wash out at that time and you pour it out. And I feel like as you get older, life just gets busier. So like, it sounds ridiculous. I went for a massage the other day and I've been getting loads of pain in my back. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for a massage. Anyway, I think I was in there for 45 minutes. The first 25 minutes, it was like my pain easing. I was like, right, okay, I feel a bit better now. The next 10 minutes was me thinking, right, so when I get out of here, I need to do this, this, this. And that is the next 10 minutes I fell asleep. But what I'm saying is the majority of time, whenever it is when I stop, I'm thinking about what I need to be doing. I got in bed last night. Oh my God, this is so cringe. I got in bed last night and Kian said to me, what are you playing on that game for? And it's like the kids will play on games, but then I've started playing this game. But I've found when I play it, I don't think about anything else.
I know, because you're concentrating on the game.
I'm concentrating about Candy Crush or whatever it is. So I'm like concentrating. And I literally got in bed last night and Kian was downstairs, and before he went downstairs, I got in bed. So he'd seen me get in bed. I'd not turned the telly on. I'd not turned the lights on. I was literally just sat, cozy, all my pillows around me like a little fort, just playing my little game, minding my own business, not having to read anything. And I just love it. Just love it. Just absolute silence. The kids have gone to bed. He was downstairs. And I just feel like that's like my time. I sometimes light a candle if I'm feeling bougie. But like, yeah, literally. But I've found one of my new favourite hobbies. If you call it
video games.
Well, Snake. No, that's a bit erratic for me. I feel like it's a bit unpredictable. For Candy Crush, I'm making the moves myself. But I feel like now my favourite thing to do is clean my house and then sit in it with nobody else.
Oh my God, that's the most amazing feeling in the world.
I love it. I literally love it. I'll clean it, and then I'll sit there with a cup of tea and I'll look round and I'll feel proud, and I don't hear anything. I don't see any dirt. And it's just, that's my self-care.
So can you imagine if somebody told you that story 10 years ago, if that was for your self-care, you'd be like, what?
No, I know. But I do. Do you know what I'm really trying to do? And just obviously different, but LED light. I'm trying to get my skin better. Yeah. So I've got all these, I've got the mask now.
They're really good, aren't they?
But I don't
raving about them.
My thing is, again, I'm just a bit like, I'll do it tomorrow. Or like, I think I'll put like a mask on my hair and I think I'll do that tonight. And then my problem is I'm a different person tomorrow. So tonight I'm feeling up for like being a bigger, better person, getting up early, having a brew before the boys are up, putting a wash on, and it gets to the next morning. I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
No,
when does the chippy open? And when are you going to school? I do. I feel like I flip between.
I'm so like that, though.
Yeah. But I will say, and as again, cringy as it sounds, I genuinely find that just going for a walk or being outside helps. Whether it's going for a walk with the kids, like it doesn't have to be a quiet walk, just being outside, I just feel like really helps. I think obviously the past few weeks the sun's been out, makes people feel better.
It's just it's a game changer for me.
Everything. It does, it changes everything, and it makes you feel a bit more happy, a bit more of a springy step, that you're not looking out your window and it's pitch black.
No, definitely. But 1,000,000%, I'm on you with that one, babe. So do you think treatments like these help with overall confidence? And we've touched upon quite a lot of that on the podcast today, to be fair. But just not physically, but mentally as well, and how you feel in yourself.
I think that, not necessarily treatment-wise, but I think that a lot of my downfall is when I'm getting dressed, I'm going somewhere, even day to day, if I'm getting dressed and, you know, they don't fit or they don't look how I thought they was going to look, that then upsets me. Then I sit and then I think, I'm hungry now. And then now, because I've not prepared anything, I'm just going to eat rubbish. And it's like a vicious circle.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, if my route would be to say, get up and go gym, or to maintain treatments, or to maintain the well-being of yourself, if that was my main thing day in, day out, then I probably wouldn't feel how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it's hard. And that was the beauty in, you know, the treatments with Amanda, is that because you are getting instant results, it doesn't have to be something that's so time consuming, that's scary, because you've got to now set yourself up and this is what you've got to do now for 8 or 9 weeks. And, you know, I get a bit nervous. Like if a box set's too long, I can't start that. I've got like commitment issues. We're on season 2 and there's 19 episodes. What were we talking about?
No,
like,
I can't do it.
I panic with stuff like that. So I feel like I'm wrongly so, quick results. I do. And I've always been the same. But I literally said the other day, I'm at the age now where I can't cheat the system. I can't. I've tried too long. I've tried eating rubbish and then now it just doesn't work.
Trying eating rubbish and then literally starving yourself for a week.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work, especially when you've got 2 kids, because I finish off their teas. I finish off their tea. Both of them.
I mean, I'm the worst for it, where you're cooking the tea and you're eating and then you've got your tea and you're like, oh no, I need to eat my tea now.
I just think whatever it is that you find in life that makes you feel confident or happy or have a little boost, you just run with it.
And I think why these treatments are great for that, because like you said, when you're thinking about surgery and that whole process of taking time off work after, there's no downtime with your treatments.
Do you know what? This is so true. I actually know, I probably could name you 2 or 3 people that I know that haven't got married because they don't want people looking at them because they can be self-conscious of how their body is. Or
I know so many people like that.
But there is. So that's what I'm saying, is the beauty within these treatments are just to give somebody a little boost and a little lift. Yeah. And sometimes it's psychological. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes Amanda could just move hand and think, oh, it looks really good there. She's like, we've not done that side yet. Do you know what I mean? But I think sometimes it can be just something that, you know, deep down, you're doing something to improve something to make yourself feel better. And that's the top and bottom of it.
And I think as well, if somebody has got something like a wedding or a holiday, something important coming up where they do have that process of, oh my God, I've got to wear that bikini. Does even that bikini fit me? Oh my God. And it's horrendous for people to feel like that. But then to have these types of treatments, to know, right, I've got 5 weeks now. Yeah. And when you've got that 5 weeks, you're going to stick to your water. You're going to stay away from your alcohol. Your aftercare is going to be more important because you've got something that you want to work to.
Yeah. It's just, again, like I say, it's if you're gonna do it and you work with it, you're going to get better, longer lasting results.
And just talking about like things for you, what do you do to make yourself feel better? Whether it's in fishing, am I all right? Fitness. Fishing? Do you go fishing?
Do you know what though? It's a lot of men go fishing.
Don't talk about men in
It's a full day though about fishing. That sounds like a good hobby. I remember when Kian set up golf, started playing golf, and I said, I just don't understand where you found these extra 5 hours in the day to go to golf. Where have you found them all? Because I can't go to the toilet on my own. So where are you finding these 5 hours that are just so accessible to be going around in 18 courses?
Men and the fishing and the golf is ridiculous. That's us trying to be mums, trying to survive.
What do I do to make myself feel better?
But yeah, fitness, fashion, beauty. I know you've been having some stuff on your skin recently, on your face, haven't you? So how's that made you feel?
So the short answer, to make myself feel better, it sounds ridiculous. I get in the shower, I shave my legs, I wash my hair, and I dry it. I blow dry it, and I feel instantly better because I feel clean, I feel light because I've got the hair off my head. But no, I just feel like sometimes when my hair's always up normally, when I'm running about with the boys or whatever else, and I'm just generally going to school and whatever, I just literally have it in a bun 9 times out of 10 or a clip. So I do feel like when I've got in the shower and I have a nice body, do you know what I even did the other day? I ironed my pajamas. I really made it an occasion.
Do you iron your bed sheets?
I used to. I used to before I had the kids. But no, I did. I felt like, I thought to myself, the boys, it was on pancake day, the boys was at their aunties, and I'd got in early from something. I thought, you know what? I'm going to get in the shower, I'm going to wash my hair, I'm going to shave my legs, I'm going to put a treatment on my hair while I'm in the shower, I'm going to do my skin. And then I got out, I moisturised, I ironed my pajamas, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous. But
so many people are going to get this.
Like, I just feel like I just felt I'm ready to go to bed, and it's great. Do you know what I mean? It's great.
It's like when you get a clean bedding.
My hair's washed, the bedding, my hair's washed. Like, it's just a nice feeling. Honestly, I recommend to anyone, washing their bedding and putting your head on the pillow and smelling your fabric conditioner instantly makes me feel better.
I love it. Every Friday, if I don't do it on a Friday, my head falls off.
I just think it's the little things.
Yeah.
There's
definitely.
also big things like this, but like I say, and I said to you, didn't I? It was lovely coming in for treatments, but unless I've got something to work towards, I'm thinking when I'm laying on the bed, I'm thinking that wash needed to be out, and I needed to do this, and I needed to do that. And I think that's the thing, is when you're doing something for yourself that is time consuming, sometimes you feel guilty. Guilty that you're not doing something that's giving you a head start as to when the kids get home. But as I've learned, your washing pile will always be sky high. Always. Your kitchen will always need cleaning. And the football boots will always have mud on them, and they walk
and
through
that
the
smell.
house.
That's what the football boot smell. So let's wrap it up now. Really enjoyed having you on this podcast.
Have you? Because you look ecstatic about it. Can you tell me again?
Mate, I keep banging my legs, like clothes going mad. I'm like, No, I've absolutely loved it. So if you could give your younger self, one piece of advice about body confidence, what would it be?
It would probably be, you don't actually look how you think you look. That's like a big thing for me. I think I feel like a lot of girls now, especially as well, have this body dysmorphia where they think that this is too big, or that's too round, or they're too big. And I look back at pictures of myself and think, and everyone says it. My mum's friends used to say it to me. Look back on pictures and I think, oh my God. But I actually do. I look back on pictures and I think, you wasted so many years worrying, so many years not wearing stuff that you 100% could have, would have, should have wore, because you was self-confident, you was self-conscious of a certain part of your body. And I just think, I look back and think, I wish I could go back to being young one more time, and I'd have like a week in them skimpy little outfits.
I know. And also as well, like back in the day when we were younger, pictures like were so different to what they were now anyway. Yeah. Like Polaroid. Love a Polaroid. It was just like a thing that I just think nowadays everything's just very all for social media. It is. And it's really, I couldn't imagine growing up now in this day and age. It would be so hard. It would be so hard, because the only person you knew about that you could be envious of was somebody that went to your school or somebody that went to your dance. You're not looking at people that are, I don't know, people that have different luxuries that, we didn't have as kids. Yeah. You're in your own little circle as a kid, you didn't feel it in time.
Yeah, you are. But I do think, I'm waffling. I always waffle. But I just think, going back now, I'd just say, don't start a diet every Monday. I've literally been on a diet every Monday since I was 17.
I think everyone has. I
always fall off about Wednesday. Jump back on Sunday night. Sunday night, I think, this week I'm going to be better. But I just think it's just to enjoy your life without worrying about your body.
Yeah.
That's my main thing.
That's your main one?
I think so. Is that good?
No, that's really good. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And I think when you're looking back on pictures especially, if we actually knew how we felt when that picture was taken, you'd never think.
Do you know what I will just touch on quick as well? I feel like even though there are so many downfalls of this generation, one thing that is really good about this generation is they have the knowledge now of what, you know, what makes a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, they do.
They have the tools and the accessibility. These, you know, young girls going to the gym to make themselves fit, to, you know, moving their body, running, you know, doing this high rocks, all these things, it's coming into a younger generation. And that's amazing, because when we was younger,
we didn't know any of that.
And you didn't have these classes that you could go to with your mates and enjoy. And as we know, when you go to the gym or you have whatever it is, treatment, whatever it might be that makes you feel confident, you get these endorphins. It's like, you feel great. Why we're not introducing this to our kids?
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important. Definitely. So what's next for you? Any exciting projects, personal goals in the pipeline at the moment?
What is immediately next is I need to go and take my white wash out.
Shocked she said
Honestly,
that.
I've been driving.
That's all she's been thinking about for the last 5 minutes.
I was driving there and I was thinking, oh, it's a lovely blowy day. Do you reckon I could get it outside?
Such a mum comment.
What is next? I don't know. My brain is literally 1,000 miles an hour. But my problem is, once I'm busy, that's it.
You're done.
Literally so busy. So I just try in times like this where I don't have something solid, I just try and be around for the boys, make sure, like, I love making sure the room's tidy when they come on. It sounds stupid, that, and it's
I'd love that. That's so cute, man.
I know, but it's just, I just always think, as long as their room's tidy, I don't care, because it's not their fault I'm messy. But you know what I mean? As long as their room's tidy, I like that. And I just like trying to be around the house and just letting things flow a bit more when I'm there. But I think sometimes when I was like working, I went off and did a play and I was in and out, and it was just disruptive for everyone. So I think when I am home, it's nice.
I think so many mums feel like that though, like they're only young once, aren't they?
Kids,
and you just need to maximise that time with them.
And I said to you before, didn't I? I said, you know, especially with the nature of my job, you're never guaranteed it's going to be where you live. So my biggest priority right now is the kids and putting my own kids to bed, and that's like a thing, and it's not about me at the minute.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Again, the good nature of my job is you can carry on.
Yeah.
So I just think anything, and it's so funny. There's a woman who's got a coffee shop near us, and she's looking for someone. I was like, I could work in the coffee shop, and I was like, I'd work in there, and I'd go and do anything. I don't care. Yeah. I actually do not care. I just want to be in and around the kids at home.
And so many mums feel like that as well. Yeah. So finally, if you could describe your experience with us in 3 words, what would it be?
Empowering. Is that a good one?
Yeah. I've not told her this, by the way. No.
Empowering. Calming.
I would not say I'm calm.
No, you didn't do my treatments. Not you. Amanda is very calming. And I feel like I've learned something. I feel like, and also, like, say, when you're having these treatments, and I've got Amanda telling me, you know, the pros and the cons and whatever else goes into, she will also tell you things like, if you drink this will make you feel
knowledgeable.
Yeah, very, very
educational.
Yeah, educational.
There you go.
Fly it in. Educational. Empowering, calm, and educational.
It's great.
So, had a great time.
I honestly, I was
going to say, has it been good? But this is only your second, so you've not really got anything to compare it to.
No, and to be honest, we've wanting to do celebrity ones this year anyway. So you're our first celebrity one. The lady that we did before was a stockist. So I think these are really important for us to do, for our stockists to use. Obviously, you came in and did the event.
Do you know what I like though? I don't know if people know who's coming on next, but when we said about who's going on next, I feel like it's nice to not get just people in the public eye who's done it, or people that have had the treatment. I know you've got to essentially have the treatment, but I feel like that person's knowledge will be a different slant on it. Yeah, definitely. And we're all about our customers. Yeah. We're all about thinking about how it's important to our customers, and the particular person, he has, give it away a little bit, he has such a passion about what he does. And which empowering is so women and giving them confidence. Yeah, and this is what we're about. But yeah, we've absolutely loved it. And you're going to do the event this year? No, you will definitely not have me back. I don't think I'll get back up. You will have us back. We will definitely have you back.